Welcome to Tree Talking Time, where we talk all things tree dogs, from the smallest fights to the largest hounds, treating squirrels to bears and everything in between. And from time to time, we might even run a little fast game.
Well, when I was 18, I killed like a 135-inch deer dog hunting. That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
That was pretty cool.
For your neck of the woods, that's a nice, respectable deer.
Oh, yeah, he was a stud. Nice 10-point. Me and a buddy of mine, it was Thanksgiving Day, and Thanksgiving Day, a pile of us started out hunting.
Mm-hmm.
But me and him, my family knows, I'm not coming home till dark. If I load dogs that morning, I'll see you at dark.
Yeah.
So we don't never do Thanksgiving dinner early. And everybody kind of disappeared on us at the hunting club that day, and we had 6 or 7 puppies and one old dog we carried. Mm-hmm. And we found a big track coming out of a swamp across the power line. We put the old dog on it, sent the puppies with it, figured we'd just run something.
Yeah.
By the time they jumped, about 20 minutes of trailing, I seen it cross the road one time, could just tell it was a big deer, a long ways off. Dog split. Well, he followed the old dog and 2 or 3 of the puppies, and I followed the other 4. I pulled up the next path, and as I was getting out of the truck, I looked beside me, and here comes the buck. He ain't 10 steps from me, trying to crawl in the truck door with me. Shot him. Knocked him down, and puppies ended up catching up with him, and we found him about 30 yards off the road.
Nice.
I ran back to the truck, telling him, hey, we just killed a dang fine buck here.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everybody's on the radio again, wants to know where we're hunting, what's going on.
Yep. Everyone's, missing FOMO, fear of missing out over there.
Oh, yeah. You go to hollering big buck, and the whole radio lights up.
Oh, I'm sure.
That or we were bear hunting. We went to a track we call it Hassel Farm earlier this year, and went in there, and first time we'd hunted it all year. Knew we had a really nice bear on camera the night before, but we had like 5 or 6 different bears visit the pile.
Oh, okay.
So they went in there, and they put a couple dogs down on the peanuts, and they struck, and they were trailing. Well, all of a sudden, bears started coming out of there like rats. I think we counted 8 or 9 different bears crossing the road. Mm-hmm. Finally, one of the guys from Tennessee that hunts with us, Daniel Conrad, he comes down, and he gets on radio and says, boys, I just seen a nice one.
There you go.
He pulled down there, and he put a couple dogs on him, crossed on, I don't know, about 300 yards from me while we were actually trying to put dogs on another track that we'd just seen, probably I'd say an average bear, a 250-pounder.
Okay.
We pulled back down there. It was like, this bear's way bigger. We put, I don't know, I'd say 10 or 15 dogs on him.
Okay.
He ended up going up a tree. I bet it wasn't 8 inches in diameter.
I'm about to say, you don't have a lot of big trees down there, do you?
We do in places, but a lot of the stuff we hunt is timber company land, so it's staged.
Yeah.
So one minute you'll be in 25-year-old pines, next year in 10-year-old pines.
Yeah.
Bear wasn't, I bet he wasn't 10 foot up the tree. And we shot him out. He ended up being just at 500 pounds.
Nice. You guys are known for big bears down there, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, we do pretty good with them.
What's your average?
I'd say my average everyday bear is going to be 250 to 350.
Okay.
But every year we're going to find one over 4 or 5.
Yeah. See, where I hunt, the average bear is like 150.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Out in the mountains of West Virginia and Virginia, so.
That's a lot of fun hunting those mountains, though. They ain't really got much of a chance to do that. But a lot of the guys that we hunt with come from eastern North Carolina, or eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina, right there on the line.
Yeah. And
it's a lot of fun, they say.
Oh, it is. And it's vastly different. I've hunted the coast, hog hunting and deer hunting, and then I've hunted the mountains for bears, so it's just different.
Oh, yeah. Ain't no doubt. So.
Well, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Chris Tatum from eastern North Carolina, down around Rocky Point, Burgaw, Wilmington area.
Gotcha.
Me and a bunch of buddies, we got a kennel together, Patterson and CT Incorporated.
Okay.
Run a lot of fox dogs and deer dogs, and then I guide for Adventures Plus Outfitters. We do a lot of bear hunting as well, doing that.
Which I'm sure you've noticed, the listeners have noticed the background noise. We're at the Great American Outdoor Show, so there's no getting away from it here. Oh, no.
It's just loud, and it's busy, but it's nice to be back here finally. It's always a good time up here.
Yeah. Have you been here before?
Oh, yeah. Boss has been coming here for, I think, 10 or 12 years, and this will be my 3rd show, but, through COVID and everything, when they were canceling shows.
Yep. I understand. So, what kind of fox dogs and deer dogs you run?
Mostly we run walkers.
Okay.
A lot of me and a buddy of mine, we kind of been hunting together for I don't know, about our whole life, I reckon. And we just kind of, over the years, his granddaddy was really big into it, Mr. Bobby Patterson. God knows, he's probably one of the most well-known people down in southeastern North Carolina anyway, as far as having dogs. We used to do a lot of puppy hunts and stuff like that. And he actually just made his first champion about a month and a half ago down at C&M at Lonnie Waters Fox Preserve. That was a pretty special moment for all of us.
Yeah.
Most everything we focus on is kind of younger dogs, a lot of puppies, derby dogs, stuff like that.
Okay. So you don't keep a lot of older stuff?
We do if we think we're going to keep it to breed back to, stuff like that. You know, we kind of go through them, but we like to keep them young.
How many head do you guys keep in between you guys?
Currently in my dog pens, I think I got 11, and I think little Robbie, I'd say he's probably got another, I bet he's got 30 right now, maybe 40, between puppies and everything else.
Yeah.
And
that's more common of what I hear from a lot of deer dog guys.
Yeah. I mean, we got them all ages got some that ain't quite bred, ain't quite done yet. We're still breeding a couple, and some are just getting started. Some are fixing to start going field trialing, and
nice.
Some are running. We're actually field trialing right now. We're running a big series down in eastern North Carolina. On the outside on deer trials, the Eastern North Carolina Deer Trial Series.
Okay. Well, tell me a little about because I'm not real familiar with the trialing aspect of the deer dog stuff. So
it's kind of like a, regular field trial if you've ever experienced that. A lot of them are speed and drive type hunts.
Okay.
I'm trying to think how many hunts there is in the series. I want to say it's 7 or 8. A lot of them are in the Hoffman Forest, which is tens of thousands of acres.
Okay.
Owned by a bunch of timber companies and stuff. They'll set a boundary, probably anywhere from 8,000 acres or better, and dogs can only get scored inside that boundary.
Okay.
As far as a speed and drive style hunt goes, first dog after the game, judge has to see the game, and then the first dog across will get 35, 30, 25, 20, down to a pack score at 15.
Okay.
And he can score until he misses a dog, technically. But everybody judges a little different. Some will only score down to 6 or 7 dogs.
Okay.
Right now we're sitting, shout out to Terry over at the Hunter's Horn and everything they do for all of us. They've actually given us a 1-day option, and they're doing a Hound of the Year and Kennel of the Year.
Oh, nice.
And right now we're sitting, I believe, 3rd Kennel of the Year, 4th. Hold on, I got it right here. We got a couple in the top 10 Hound of the Year, and we're sitting 3rd Kennel of the Year right now with 2 or 3 more hunts to go.
Okay. Sitting pretty good then.
Yeah, hopefully we can hold on. We moved up this weekend. We had one, old Roscoe. He been right there, and he really did really well for us this weekend. He's actually another buddy of mine, Garrett Henderson, one of his dogs. He did good. He placed 3rd out of, I believe, 402 dogs.
Wow. That's one thing we were talking about a little bit earlier. Just the number of dogs that get put in these trials, and they all get cut loose together. It's not like with coonhound events, you're cutting 4 dogs together.
Yeah, you have your different casts.
But just to cut that many dogs loose all at one time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you sit there, the Hunter's Horn, they made graded hunts. I think a grade 1 is anything over 400 dogs. I can't remember exact how they graded them, but each grade of hunt, you'll get different points for the series.
Yeah.
And right now we're sitting pretty good. I think we're 400 points out of 2nd. So we got another big one coming up that we actually won that hunt last year. So hopefully we can go back and repeat that.
Yeah, definitely.
And that'll really put us up there in the points.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. The deer dogs and fox dog stuff is not something I've done a lot of. I have had the chance to go run some deer dogs, but it's something I definitely want to do a little more of. Oh,
yeah, man, it's a blast. I grew up doing it. I mean, ever since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, we were every Saturday morning go load up 4, 5, 6, 7 dogs and go hunting.
And you say that like you're old, though.
No, I ain't but 29 years old, but, I think I was 16 when I got my first pack of dogs.
Okay.
I just turned 16, and a buddy of mine, Tommy Mayo, he walked down in front of his dog pens, and he said, you can have that one, and that one.
There you go.
And that's how I got started. I don't know to be mad at him or happy with him because this dang sure took up a lot of money and time over the years, but I couldn't complain about it.
Yep. No, I know exactly what you mean. It's an addiction that I think everyone that's listening probably has, and so.
Oh, absolutely, man. There's nothing like, I mean, to me, especially, I've always really liked messing with young dogs, raising them. I've always kind of bred my own.
Yeah.
And taking something from nothing to turn it into something that most people would be proud of, I'd like to think.
Yeah. No, see, I've not raised a bunch of dogs, but the best dog in my kennel right now, he was one that was born at my house. And there's just a big difference of even getting a pup and running and training it versus one, that was born at your house.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've got, right now in my kennel, I've got 11. I just lost one of my best ones. She was like 13 years old. She's one of the ones that I got when I was like 16.
Yeah.
And she was a puppy then. But, so I've got 5 that are older. By older, I'd say 6 years older. And then I've got 6 young dogs that are all 18 months and younger. So we're going to find out what them young dogs got this year during deer season. They did pretty good last year. A couple of them really surprised me a little bit. Wasn't really expecting them to do as good as they did, but a couple of them really showed themselves.
Cool. Well, switching gears back to the bear hunting, do you have bear dogs?
I don't. Well, I don't want to say I don't personally, but the outfit does. So we all tend them and run them and train them together.
Yeah.
So
now what's in that pack look like?
Right now, I'd say there's probably 15 or so. They mostly plot dogs. A lot of them come from a guy that really got our boss started into it, Mr. Danny Jenkins. He passed away a while back. He was a legend in his own mind. No, not really. A lot of people knew him, but he always kept really nice dogs, and we're just kind of lucky to have been a part of that and got around to getting some dogs and learning a lot from him over the years. And
oh, I know what you mean. I hunt with a guy that's 75.
Yeah.
And the reason I hunt with him is because I know he's got more knowledge than I'll probably ever have. So
oh yeah,
just trying to claim some of that.
That's the way hunting Danny was. You knew he had more. He forgot more about a bear dog than you'll ever know.
Yep. Definitely.
But mostly plots, handful of walker dogs. We got some red dogs mixed in.
Okay.
And everything. They clicked pretty well this year. Couple of the dogs. This was their first bear season. One of them, Jinx. He really turned in. He's going to be a really, really nice dog, I believe. He was starting 10 and 11-hour-old tracks.
Okay.
So you can't really complain about that from a young dog.
No, not at all. I've talked to a few people from down that way, and you guys seem to have very good bear numbers by comparison to some other places.
We do. We're very blessed in the number of bears that we have and the places that we can hunt, because some people, like you were talking about hunting the mountains, it's tough up there.
Yep.
Bears are limited, and then you got to go up and down all the time.
Yeah.
Our problems are different. It's just thick.
Thick and water.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're lucky, and where we hunt, a lot of our stuff is timberland, so it ain't so bad with water.
Okay.
But I've been plenty of places where a bathing suit would have been more suitable than a pair of walking boots.
Yep. Now, a couple years ago, I hog hunted down basically near neck of the woods, and we hunted off of boats, and I had a pair of frog legs. The guides, they're just like, they wear old tennis shoes, and they duct tape the bottoms of their pants. They're like, just so nothing goes up it. But
oh yeah,
they're like, you're gonna ruin whatever you wear out here. So
it's like last year, a lot of them guys were picking on me because I was wearing just a pair of like slip-on shoes everywhere I went. They said, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "Well, if my feet get wet, they don't get heavy."
Yeah,
that's the problem. You wear a boot gets waterlogged, it's gonna get heavy, and sometimes we do find ourselves walking a long ways trying to get ahead of him.
Yeah,
especially you get a ground bear that wants to break on you and keeps moving.
Yep. One of those bears that won't tree.
Oh yeah, we had one last year. Boy, she was a mean one, but we got her taken care of. She was about a 250-pound sow bear. She just wanted to sit down, and she was smart. Gosh, she was a smart bear. You couldn't get 20, 30 yards from her, and in a place you can't see 10, if you're lucky, in a good place. And finally, I think 4 or 5 of us got around her, and when she tried to break, a boy ended up getting a shot at her.
Nice. But I couldn't. I mean, I'd like to bear hunt down there, but I can't imagine being in that thick stuff. You know, the guy, like I told you, I hunt with a 75-year-old man. Well, he told me one time they were crawling through tunnels like that the bears had made. And I'm just like, I can't imagine crawling through a tunnel on my hands and knees.
I wasn't there for this, but not physically in the woods. I was out on the road, but we were bear hunting. Or not hunting, we were training dogs in the summertime. Because on the eastern side of the state, we don't have a training season like a lot of people do. We can train all year long.
Yep.
And bear bait up on the ground, and boy went in there, crawled in there. He was going to catch dogs or bust a bear one, make something happen before anything got weird. Yeah. And he was crawling in the bear tunnel, and the bear broke. When the bear broke, the bear was coming down the same tunnel he was. And all he could think was to lay down flat. Well, he laid down flat, and the bear run over top of him. Well, he was wearing a white T-shirt. When he got out to the road, there was a perfect bear track in the middle of his back.
That's awesome.
It was pretty funny.
That would be – there might be more than a bear track.
I might have a stain to clean up.
Yeah, exactly. No, I can't imagine. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that place down there, that's a place called Angola Bay. That's a thick hole, about as thick as you could ever want. Bunch of Picosin, and it's gnarly. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can only imagine. So, did you get your start running deer dogs then?
I got my start running deer dogs. Some of the clubs that I hunted in, we had groups of bear hunters that hunted, and I always just deer hunted. And then one of the clubs that I grew up in made a change in the rules where we could only deer hunt with dogs. I think it was 3 days a week. It was like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays or something, trying to take the pressure off of it, which I think was a good thing for the club in the long run. But the bear hunters could hunt every day.
Okay.
So when I was in college, I had days off of school where in the week, I couldn't run my deer dogs.
Yeah.
Well, these guys was bear hunting. If I could run it with a dog, I want to hunt it.
Exactly.
So I kind of fell in with some of them.
Okay.
And started picking it up there probably when I was 18 or 19, and just progressed throughout the years and wound up working with Ashley over here. And he's really got me into it a lot more over the years. Back then it was more of a something to do, and now it's really fun, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Now, when you started running deer dogs, how old were you?
When I first started running deer dogs, I mean, my daddy was changing my diaper on the tailgate.
Okay. So you were raised in it then?
I was raised in it, oh yeah. My family, uncles, daddy, everybody, at one point in time or another had deer dogs, and we hunted all over. And then when I got 16, as soon as I turned 16, like I said, my buddy gave me 3 and got me started, and it's been a sickness since. I've had as many as, I think the most I ever had at one time, I had almost 40.
Whew. Can't imagine, especially with dog food prices.
My gosh, I'm telling you.
That's what I've talked about. Every guy I've talked to here today, that's the consensus is dog food prices are killing us.
My Lord, it's definitely getting more expensive by the day to keep as many, and it's hard to go from keeping a bunch to not, but I reckon I'll just keep feeding them.
So what's the plan for the future then?
Hopefully win this point series.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just keep on baiting, keeping the bears around right now. We're just trying to keep the bears there, and then finish out this series. Got a few field trials planned coming up inside the fox pens.
Okay.
I think on the 18th, me and Garrett and little Robbie, I think we're going to go up to pools and carry. I think we're going to carry about 20 up there.
Yeah. I've heard about pools. I've heard it's pretty good, big.
Yeah, it's a really nice facility he's got up there. I hadn't been there in a while just because it's a ride from the house. Right there around the house, we got a handful of pens. Triple B, Vaden Bonds pens, I think about 20, 25 minutes from my house. And that's a really nice facility he's got over there. He's got a 2-day coming up in March. I think we're planning on carrying some to that. And
awesome.
So, I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah.
Dogs act like they're ready anyways.
Well, that's good. Like I said, I like stories, so you got to give me at least a couple more.
All right. Let me think about that. I'm trying to think of a good one. Oh, I got a good one. So it's talking about some of them young dogs that did pretty good this year. So I carried one of them. I got a pair of mates, 2 male dogs. couldn't really think of a name for him when I got him, and I just thought and thought and thought. One day we just started calling one hunting puppy and one fast puppy. Here they are, 18 months old. That's their names. And it was me and my buddy Peyton, and I think he had 5 or 6 dogs of his in the box, and we rode together that day. And I had hunting puppy, fast puppy, one of mine, Poacher. He's older dog. He's 8 or 9 years old. And a dog named Sadie. She's 7 or 8 years old. And we pulled up to an oak ridge, and there was a big bay off the backside of it. And we turned out, and hunting puppy babbling. I thought he was babbling. As soon as he hits the ground, as soon as his feet hit the ground, he was every breath.
Yeah.
And I'm yelling at him to stop.
Oh, yeah. I
mean, he wasn't probably 8, 9 months old then.
Oh, yeah. Why would you think he was doing anything other than babbling?
Yeah, as soon as them older dogs hit the woods behind him, they were every breath. And I said, well, maybe he's not lying. So, I think it was a week later, we were hunting at Birch Creek. I went to a place called the Gross Nickel. It's right on the backside of this big creek, this big swamp, nasty, thick. Turned out, same thing. He hits the ground, he's every breath. And I'm yelling at him again. And about that time, between me and them, here comes 8 Point. And it runs right in front of me. I didn't have a gun. I was scrambling for a gun, a radio, something, anything I could get my hands on.
Yeah.
I run around the truck, get to the truck, grab my shotgun. Buck gets away. Run back to the radio, went to screaming and hollering on the radio. Little Robbie calls me on the phone. He says, Tatum, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. Why? He said, I thought you shot yourself or something. I said, there's a big buck coming to you. My dogs is running him. He said, oh, well, I got to go then. And Buck ended up getting away from us that day, but it was pretty funny. He thought something had happened. They used to joke about me at the hunt club that they could tell how big a buck I'd seen, whether they could understand me on the radio or not.
You get that excited, huh?
Oh, yeah. There ain't nothing like it.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's the same excitement whether you're running a 10-point or a 85-pound doe, especially when you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
When them dogs are coming to you and the bushes start breaking, you don't know what it is.
Yep.
It could be the biggest buck of your life. It could be a 4-point. It could be a 60-pound yearling that you're going to catch dogs off of.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
And that just shows that you definitely have the addiction.
Oh, my gosh, yes. I will tear a truck up over a good 4-point.
How many trucks have you gone through?
Oh, God. That's a good question.
Well, for all the listeners, you didn't just see the look on his face.
Plenty. I think, let's see, at least 5 or 6. I know I had a black Sonoma, I had a gray Chevrolet, I got a red GMC, I had a Ford, I had an F-150, I had a Ranger, I had a Toyota. I don't know. It's a bunch. They were disposable to me.
Yeah.
I can only kill the deer once. I can buy another truck.
It's a common sentiment among a lot of hound hunters.
Oh, yeah. You only get so many months out of the year where you can actually really do it and really enjoy it. And
yep.
I want to take the best advantage of it I can.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you're working for an outfitter, but what do you do in the off season?
Run dogs a lot of times. Like right now, obviously we're at the show.
Yeah.
I got my buddies at home. They're tending my dogs for me and keeping them run. And now field trial pretty heavy. If I'm not field trialing all summer long, work on a boat fishing.
Okay.
Going offshore, marlin fishing, stuff like that.
Oh, wow. You're outside nonstop then?
Oh, yeah. I couldn't sit in an office. It would drive me up the wall.
I understand.
So everybody used to always tell me, figure out what you love to do and do it for a job. And
yeah.
Somehow I fell into it face first.
That's awesome. That's what I think a lot of people wish we could do.
Oh, yeah, ain't no doubt.
I know I do.
I'm lucky. I know I'm lucky. So it works out. I don't know. Couldn't be any more happy with the way things are going for us.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else? It's pretty short here.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something good. What kind of dogs do you hunt? Tell me something.
They don't want to listen to me.
They listen to you every week.
Exactly. But I have a couple leopard hounds, and a plot leopard hound cross, and then I got a cur puppy right now.
Okay. The leopard hounds, are those the Catahoulas or
No.
No.
Catahoulas and leopard hounds are two different breeds.
They're similar, aren't they? Though.
Similar color.
Yeah. Okay.
The way I tell people is it's like a border collie and an Australian shepherd.
Okay, I'm with you.
They look very similar. They have a similar job, but they're two separate breeds.
He used to hunt with a guy. His name was Tyner. He had an Australian shepherd that would run a deer. She was a funny little thing. She would only bark every once in a while.
Yeah.
But she was really nice for when we had these little, one of the clubs I hunted in Ivanhoe, we had these little bitty heads of bays out in the middle of a cutover where timber company come clear cut, but they couldn't cut in there because it was wet.
Yeah.
Like old ponds, if you will.
Okay.
And you could take her and put her in there, and she'd bounce around in there. And if you heard her bark, you better cock your pistol because there's something coming out of there.
Yeah.
And we killed several really nice bucks laying in places that you wouldn't think a deer would lay with her.
That's pretty cool.
We'd shoot at them anyways.
No, sometimes those unconventional dogs they work out pretty good for you.
They do. It's like the one I was telling you about that lost this year. Her name was Bambi the deer dog. She was a big lemon and white dog, and girl I dated at the time when I was 16, 17 years old, she shows up at the house with this puppy. She says she's going to make it a house dog. I'm like, okay, that's a walker. Not going to happen. Well, sure enough, a little while goes by, and her mama's had enough of this dog tearing her house up.
Yep.
Well, she don't want to get rid of the dog, so I inherited it. So here I've got this 9-month-old dog at the dog pens that has no idea how to, ain't had no training.
Yeah.
Except she could sit and she could shake.
There you go.
So one day I was carrying a bunch of young dogs, 10, 11 months old to the fox pen. I said, well, I'll carry her and see what happens. I carried her out there, and she literally outshined everything I brought that day. Just fell right into it. Come to find out, she'd been getting out of the backyard in the subdivision that she lived in, and she kept coming back. Her ears were all tore up and everything. She'd been getting out of the backyard and basically broke herself running suburban deer in eastern North Carolina. And
that's awesome.
She just turned out to be a really, really good dog. And if it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't have been able to build the pack that I have today.
Yeah. Are most of your dogs off of her, or just are you saying by training? She trained you?
She trained most of them. Yeah,
okay.
I actually could never get her to catch whenever I bred her. I hate that I never got anything off of her.
Yeah.
But she only cycled. I bet she only cycled 5 times that I ever caught it, anyways.
Yeah.
In the time that I had her, and she never caught every time I tried to breed her.
Jeez. Now, I've talked to a couple guys, a couple people here that are coon hunters, local, and same kind of thing. They took a female all the way out to, I don't know, Oklahoma or Missouri, didn't catch. Another girl, her female, she said she's tried to breed her 3 times, never caught. She's never caught.
Man.
And she's like, the last time, she's like, we even took her to the vet, and there was a heartbeat, but must have, aborted it and reabsorbed it. She said never had a puppy.
No kidding.
So, yeah, sometimes it's weird.
It's like I've got one right now. She's probably one of the fastest gyps I've ever hung a collar on. As far as being able to run something, she ain't got no brains. She can't stick a track to save her life, but she's fast. And
yeah.
I won some puppy hunts with her and placed her really well all over. And I've tried to breed her several times. And one time I did get her caught, and she had 1 puppy.
Yeah.
And it just didn't make it, unfortunately. But I've still got her, and I'm still steady watching her. She's due to come in here about April.
There you go. Now, it always seems the ones that you want to get bred are the ones that you have issues with, and then otherwise, when you don't want something bred, something gets in the pen with them. Or?
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. Guaranteed if a male dog rips a hole in the chain link and gets another dog pen, you're going to have puppies.
Yep. That's how my one male dog came to be.
Oh, ain't no doubt.
But the funny thing is, he's the best thing I got now. So
that's how it works, ain't it? It's like I've got one. Her name's Mermaid. She's 9, I think. I'm trying to remember. She's old. She's pretty much at this point. She's just about retired. She'll go a couple times. She's good for about a morning hunt, and that's about it. And she's living out her best days now. And she it's actually the first dog I ever won a field trial with when I was, I don't know, probably 21.
Okay.
And it was funny. When I won that hunt, my buddy Clay, we were sitting there, and we were at Walnut Creek, which is over in it was in LaGrange. It's no longer around. And he had actually called her at the end of the hunt, and he comes to me and he goes, well, Tatum, Mermaid ain't floating no more. I thought she'd quit, and he called her loafing or something.
Yeah.
So they're giving the awards out, and I'm sitting there talking, and I placed my dog Sadie. I placed her like 4th or something. So I'm sitting there happy. I'm completely stoked. That's the best I'd ever done in a field trial.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there talking, and about that time they started calling the breeding out on the first place hound, and I looked at my buddy. I said, I just won the dang hunt. And I stood there. They called it out, called me out and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm still standing there. And they're all slapping me and like, go up there, moron. It's your hunt. You just won.
You're dumbstruck.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
You couldn't have told me nothing that day. I couldn't walk around this build as big as my head was.
That's awesome, though.
But, no, I'm ready to get back after this show, get back to deer trialing. I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely different. It keeps you busy out instead of hunting in instead of being in the fox pen where, you know, you get to see crossings, but you're not as involved in it. You know, you've already done the work to be there. Because in the deer trial world, you know, you've got, I'd say a small hunt's going to be 250 dogs.
Oh, wow.
An average hunt's going to be between 300 and 400. A big hunt, which the biggest one in our series is at Trenton. That's this year. I don't feel like it was as big as it normally is. It was 500 and some dogs there. I think we placed one 8th and 12th and tied one for 30th and had another one at 28th.
Okay.
And something along those lines. But, you know, it's 500 and some dogs. You've got interference all day long on your Garmin.
Oh, yeah.
And so we still run our old wildlife beep collars too. So as your collar jumps back and forth and you're pulling up on it, you can throw the beep wand out the window and double check, make sure it's the right dog. And
no, I know where I bear hunt, it's the same problem. There's so many bear hunters that no matter what, you're always going to run interference unless you're hunting like, you know, Tuesday in the middle of the season. But like that, any weekend, first week, you're getting interference.
Oh yeah. So like we normally carry when we go to these deer trials. There's some guys that they'll carry, you know, 25, 30 dogs, and they play the numbers game. I think we've been carrying about 12 this year, and I think we've got several qualified. So as you go through the series, each hunt has its own points and everything, and then you have points for the series.
Yeah.
Well, the top 30 dogs from each hunt qualify for the best of the best, which is a championship hunt.
Okay.
So you have to place in the top 30 to go to that. So I think this past hunt was at Half Moon. This one coming up will be at Northeast Hunting Club. Then we'll have one at Albertson Hunting Club. And then I think that's going to be the best of the best after that.
Okay.
And that's going to be, I mean, you're running against the best in the game there.
Yeah.
It's like Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was just talking to another guy. I think next Sunday, this place is going to be dead.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to get out of here.
Just for the listeners, we're in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, so Philadelphia is not that far. And
No.
with the Eagles being in the Super Bowl, this place will be dead.
Nah, this place will be empty on Sunday, and except for the people trying to pack up and get out of here like me.
Yep.
They got dogs to run.
Yep. No, I get it. So, well, where can people find you if they want to follow along with you on any sort of social media with all your stuff?
So just Chris Tatum on Facebook. My personal Instagram is the real drunk mate _ between everything. Real is spelled REEL. It was a joke between me and all my buddies back when I worked on another boat. We used to drink a lot of beer, and everybody used to call me the real drunk one. So, and then as far as the outfitter, you know, if you want to go on Eastern North Carolina bear hunt, it's Adventures Plus Outfitters. We're easy to find. AdventuresPlusOutfitters.com. We have Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
We try to keep it pretty updated.
Okay. Cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me.
Yes, sir.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Tree Talking Media. And until next time, keep 'em talking in the timber.